Feeling.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 5, episode number 26. Tonight's the Songs edition. It's May 2nd, Andy.
Yes.
We had
Number
May
two.
Day yesterday. Did you have a pleasant May Day?
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
As much as I could have, I guess.
Yeah, so today's May 2nd. We're on the crunch here and coming down into summertime. It's the last month of school, things like that. And for rock albums, we've got an album by Ratt today that we're going to do. The ever popular, I wouldn't call it glam, but 90s, 80s, 90s rock, hard rock band Ratt from
They were never glam, in my opinion. They were just good old-fashioned rock and roll.
Hard rock stuff. Always liked them. Now, the album we're going to do tonight here is called Infestation. There's the album cover.
Very nice.
And once again, Ratt always has cool album covers. This kind of looks more like maybe a Tesla kind of a cover. Kind of different, but
some of the neon colors of that time, a little bit.
So this album came out in 2010, Andy, and I wasn't even really aware of it. I wasn't following music those years of my life really that much, but it came out in 2010, April 20th. So really 14 years ago, last week, roughly.
Yes.
That this thing came out. And here's what they did. Ratt, Infestation is the 7th and final studio album by American glam metal band Ratt. Now, this is taken from Wikipedia, where they do call them glam. We can disagree with that, but it is the band's first original effort since their self-titled album in 1999 called Ratt.
Yep.
And this is also the first one since the death of Robin Crosby.
Yes.
And so he died in 2002. Now it's 2010. They were recording this in 2008, so 7 years has gone by. Robin Crosby died, and first album here to feature guitarist Carlos Cavazo, formerly of Quiet Riot. So you would know him, right?
Yep.
You would know of him, big Quiet Riot fan in the day.
Yep.
The band would enter a turbulent time after the addition of this album, and by 2018, all musicians in it had left the band except for lead singer Stephen Pearcy. Not surprising. And they were in a very turbulent decade or two. It's just a lot of unknowns there. They were really good in the 80s and 90s, and 2000, 2010, okay. This was released via Roadrunner Records, a sub-label of their longtime home of Atlantic, released by Loud and Proud. So here's, I thought, was a good interview. Stephen Pearcy said of this album, he said, quote, "We wanted this to be something that we would have written right after 1984's Out of the Cellar. We definitely wanted to get back to the basics and back to the mindset of a band with a lot of excitement and some great songs to get out." So they wanted to make the sound like a 1980, kind of a 85 when they were the biggest and the best. They wanted to make the sound like that. Now, guitarist Warren DeMartini said that this really exceeded our expectations, and conceptually, we wanted to revisit the period of Out of the Cellar and Invasion of Your Privacy. We were sort of loosely trying to shoot for something that would fit in between those two records. Now, that's very interesting. They wanted to have something fit between those two.
Yeah.
Now, you and I, big fans, there could be nothing better than having an album fit between those two, I'm sure.
And I think they did with this one.
And so Robin Crosby was dead, and so they went back and put something in between this, and it debuted at number 30, making it Ratt's highest charting album since 1990. That's a 20-year period. The album has gone on to sell 50,000 copies in the U.S. So, not even gold level sales. But they were doing this just to get the band out, just to get it out again. They obviously, I'm sure, lost a lot of money. Recorded in Virginia. The genre is heavy metal or hard rock. But it's a 42-minute album. Love it.
Yep.
And it's got 11 songs. And so here is the personnel, if you want to give us a little more background on this. Stephen Pearcy, of course, lead vocals, one of my all-time favorites. Warren DeMartini, guitar, one of the all-time underrated guitarists, perhaps.
Check out our special last month on him,
Yes, we did the special, featuring the special focus on Warren DeMartini and what he's been doing over the years. Carlos Cavazo on guitar, Robbie Crane on bass. I had to listen to the album again to pick that up with a different bass player as well. And then
Yep.
Bobby Blotzer on drums. And so, who was the previous bassist? Who did they
Oh, and
have?
that's the name I'm going blank on.
Okay, I can't think of it either, but I didn't know that, Robbie Crane came in and then uh, Cavazo. And good stuff. Good stuff. So here's the track. Here's the track listings. I'm sure most of the listeners out there probably don't even have this album. Did you get this one when it came out, Andy?
Not when it came out, no, but I did hear a lot of the songs.
Okay, so you heard a lot of
Maybe the time on the radio or
the
Buddy
popular
had it
ones or the singles that came out. Here's a track listing in order: "Eat
from
Me Up Alive," "Best of Me." That was the first single released. Was "Best of Me." That's more of a not a ballad, but a commercial radio friendly, more of a not a rock ballad maybe, but more softer, more radio friendly, if you call it that. I didn't like that, but it's still good. It's still a good song. "Eat Me Up Alive" is a good rock song. After that, they whip out some really good songs. Song 3, "A Little Too Much." I like that. Song 4, "Look Out Below." Song 5, "Last Call." Song 6, "Lost Weekend." Song 7, "As Good as It Gets." Song 8, "Garden of Eden." Song 9, "Take a Big Bite." Song 10, "Take Me Home." I've read some reviews that said that was kind of if there's any possible throwaway on the album, it might be kind of a filler. I like, and that song is still good. And then finally, it wraps up with "Don't Let Go." I think, Andy, every song of this is good, but I can't think back to a time that I never really didn't like any song from Ratt. I listen to those albums usually just straight through.
Yep.
So then on Japanese, on the special edition track, if you get the iTunes special edition or the Japanese import, they have the song called "Scatter." I had never heard that song in my life,
Nope.
and so listen to that as well. That song is very good. And interesting stuff, so they released 2 singles, "Best of Me," released in 2010 with a music video, and then followed that up with "Eat Me Up Alive," also released 2010 with a music video. Good stuff. Like I said, I like all the songs. I didn't hear this album. I got into it. I've been listening to it now for a couple of weeks. Once again, I've always liked Ratt's studio work.
Yes, I had this on my Napster account back in the day.
You did? Okay. Okay. So Ratt Infestation. I think it sounds very similar. And you couldn't tell there was band musicians changing and people coming and
Yeah,
going
you
here.
could
It
tell if
still
it was
sounds
2010 or 88. It was
It
pretty.
sounded like an album from 1987, 88. Yes.
Mhm.
That's what I thought. So very cool. If you missed those years or forgot or didn't, know that this came out in between time, more later on in life, their final studio album, I would pick it up. It's got some good stuff on there. I enjoyed it. Great vocals by Stephen Piercy. The music, once again, always good. I always like the songs, but I would recommend getting that other song or that import for Scatter. The other thing when I was doing my research here, I had forgotten about, they had a song on the Point Break soundtrack
Yes.
from 91. And that's another one if you have to go and pick that up, I think, as the single, but they've had 7 studio albums and all very good stuff. I've always liked their work, and I'm glad I was able to pick this up and add it to the old collection. Do you have anything else, Andy, on Ratt?
Just like I said, you see how the sound was the same from the 80s to then. Warren DeMartini's style was still there. Carlos didn't try to make it sound like Quiet Riot. He followed the rap motif or whatever you want to call it, played their style. But the key to it is Stephen Piercy's voice still sounding the same, which is hard. You can tell different bands as they get older and longer. You can tell, that's later in the years. Big example for me, Aerosmith.
Okay.
Listen to early Aerosmith and more recent Aerosmith. You can hear the difference, And also, Juan Curier Croucier.
Oh,
No,
yes.
pictures him.
Okay,
That was the
okay.
original bassist. So I
He was, okay.
apologize if I butchered your name there, Juan. I don't know why he left the band, but he was the original bassist. I thought of that.
Yeah, he was very good, but you can't tell the difference. And
Yep.
DiMartini says that we're trying to get more up tempo ideas and do a lot of the double leads that Robin Crosby and I started doing back in 1983.
Yep.
And I didn't know that either. They were pulling off double leads with the two guitarists there,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why I think I like the sound. I always like the sound of Ratt. I think, and maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but it's very clean.
Yeah.
All right, so here is some. Here we go.
Here we go. Here's what I got. You can see all that there. We got them already. Like I said, a 4-hour car ride. It's a 4-hour concert featuring me.
Awesome.
All right. My review of the Church of Cash. The bride and I went to go see them last weekend at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Very good. Very impressed. I didn't know what to expect, but they did. They blew me away. They're all local boys. Jay, the guy who does the Johnny Cash part, from New Ulm, so they're all local guys. They do tour across the country, so they aren't just homebodies. They do their thing. But Johnny Cash, I mentioned, has a new album called Songwriter coming out in a couple months. Now, of course, Johnny has passed, so it's like his last series of albums, stuff that was recorded a while ago. Most of them are all newer, some newer songs, some redone at the end, but just still different stuff from Johnny Cash coming out. That's going to be great. Now, one thing I heard from the guys at the concert, this is no, it wasn't behind the scenes. He told me this like on stage. He said this to everybody. The guys out in St. Michael at the concert venue out there, along with with this Johnny Cash tribute band, Church of Cash, are going to be redoing the Folsom concert that he did in the Folsom prison.
Really?
But it's going to be an interactive one where when you're the guests, you're the prisoners. They have someone else plays the warden, someone else. He goes, we're not Johnny Cash, Church of Cash. We do this one. He goes, it's Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Three. Cat Williams, who was on The Voice, I think it was, or one of those shows, she's on there and does June Carter. The other, like I said, people who do the warden and do the emceeing. They have some guys do the Statler brothers come out. So look for that coming out around Christmas time. They said they're looking at. So
is this the Route 47 venue?
I think it's a music room out in St. Michael.
Oh yes.
So
Route is Anoka, I believe.
Yeah, those two he goes, we were always kind of kicking around wanting to do it. No one ever had time. He goes, then COVID hit. We had time. So
okay.
That's kind of where the idea came from. So
interesting.
So there's the Folsom cut. So it's going to look like this. The fans are the prisoners.
Okay.
It's interactive, just like that was. So that should be kind of cool.
Interesting. Now, are they going to video this and throw it up on YouTube or something and film it?
I'm not positive how they're going to do this, but for those of you who listen all the time, this would be good to know. I talked to the young lady out at the concession stand or at the merchant stand. We will be having Church of Cash on sometime in October before this. So
awesome.
Watch for that.
That's very good. Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Other concerts, Retro Soul and the Western Horns on stage Saturday, May 18th down in Stillwater. I saw them at Knuckleheads last year, 2 years ago. Very good. If you like the old soul, Motown stuff, very, very great group to see.
Interesting.
Foreigner with special guest Lita Ford at the Mayo Civic Center September 28th. So this will be after the Hall of Fame induction, I believe. So
okay,
be kind of neat. Extreme Thicker Than Blood tour, September 22nd, Prior Lake, Minnesota.
Wow.
Living Colors opening up. I am trying to cash in all my favors to go to that one.
Okay.
And I've seen some other followers of the page and friends of ours from other bands saying they'd like to go to this tour, interested in it. I think it'd be kind of neat if we got a group to go. That'd be kind of cool.
Nice.
Now let's go back a little bit in time.
Okay, the time machine, yes.
Maybe just a week or so ago. We talked about Jack Blades and the
Yes.
band with the new album coming up, the TKM band or TMG band. There they are recording last week, just like we talked about. 2 days later, there's Jack Blades and the boys all recording a new album,
Good timing, of course.
just like we said. So we're here to educate, Dan.
Yes.
And speaking of that, it's the homework edition or homework.
Okay, I've got my pencil here.
Got your little chalk tablet there and your chalk to write this down. Here we go. There is a Hulu special on John Bon Jovi that's out there right now on the Hulu. Came out April 26th. Your homework is to watch it and get ready. I'm going to watch it next week and do a special episode on that. So
Interesting.
you watch it, you get your point of view. I'll watch it. I'll review it. You can comment on it.
No, that's good stuff. You know, I'm a big fan of the early Bon Jovi, of course. Yep. That should be very interesting to see.
Yes. And now for Dan's favorite part, the award-winning soapbox.
Yes, it's a great feature here.
Farm Cable loves the soapbox.
Exactly.
There was a Winger quote. Kip Winger puts out, he goes, Winger was mocked by Metallica, but in reality, it is that Reb Bach wiped the floor with Kurt Hammett. I wiped the floor with James Hetfield as a singer and was with more girls than the 4 guys Metallica could ever dream of. Okay, here's my soapbox part on that. And I discussed it with some other bands and other people on the Facebook for this. You can see it on our page. I'll give them the first 2. I thought they were better musicians than Metallica.
Okay.
I don't care about the girls, Kip Winger. I saw a lot of the girls went to your concerts. I don't know if I'd brag about that. I thought Winger was very underrated as a musician. There was a time where there was a big issue again. Metallica had pictures of Winger up on their dartboard, and Metallica's tough. They're dirty. We like them. And Beavis and Butthead wore Metallica shirts, and their nerdy friend Stuart had a Winger shirt.
Yes.
So Winger kind of got looked down upon as that. I always liked Winger. I thought he was a great musician. Stage show was a little too much for me because it was all kind of the flashy poppy stuff, you know. But if you just listen to the music part, which is what we're all about, I'll take Winger over Metallica. I'm not saying Metallica's bad, but I'd rather, depending on the mood, but on average, I'd rather listen to Metallica or listen to Winger over Metallica. So there, I said it. I said it out loud.
You said that out loud. Nice. It's a big quote. You know, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of meat in that statement.
Yeah, he's starting out real cool. And it's like, yeah, we're better than you. And it's like saying I can eat more pepperoni pizza than you. Yeah, and you're gonna die 10 years sooner too because of it. So there, you know.
And when was this quote made? Just recently?
Probably pretty recently, but any time really.
Oh my God.
Kip's kind of getting back and trying to be relative. And I haven't listened to any of his new stuff, so I don't know if it's good or bad, but his older stuff I thought was really good. He started out as just a studio guy who finally went on his own, and that's how it went. So good music. He's written other stuff besides rock and roll. He's written some other concerts and stuff like that and orchestra stuff. So he's a talented musician. So look beyond the cover of the book and look at his musical knowledge. Much like me.
Yes,
look beyond the cover of the book. That's why I let you know that I am marked safe from listening to the full new Motley Crue song. That's going to be an awful song. I made it through about 13 seconds of it.
I did not attempt it yet.
Yeah. Save it. Don't. No. Save your quarter in the jukebox. Don't put it in. No. And just one more thing.
Yes.
I saw this post. I shared this post, and I believe this with a lot of the fans, a lot of people we've made from this show, a lot of people we've made friends with on this show. It's amazing. The number of great people in my life that I wouldn't have ever met if it wasn't for music. So if it wasn't for our love of music and doing this little 30-minute slapstick bit, we've made some pretty good friends in the local music scene here. And I'm kind of proud of it. So I just want to say thank you to those of you who I consider more than just Facebook friends at some occasions.
Yes,
So
I
there.
like to say the same thing. It's the very good connection with the very tight networking group here in the Twin
Yeah.
Cities that we've been able to kind of latch onto a little bit
Yep.
and get to know some of these folks.
Yeah, we have
Very
some
good.
I have some good conversations with a few of them online every now and then. Just like I said on that winger post, we had a nice little conversation, both kind of agreeing and reminding me, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." Yeah, we've had some debates with others. I thought that guy was better than this guy. Okay, we agreed to disagree. Still get along, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So, and that's all I got, man. That's
It's good.
that's my 15 minutes of fame for the show.
It's good stuff. Once again, opinions are always good. Debates are always good. When it comes to music and creativity and whatnot, there's always going to be there's no wrong answers and there's no right answers.
Oh,
Even Kip Winger making that statement in his head is probably what he feels what is
right.
right. But once again, that's still an
Well,
opinion. We may agree with some pieces of it or not, but
yep.
it's fair to say that he made the statement. He's got that right to do that. It's part of the whole First Amendment thing.
Right. One more thing I read, but I didn't put on here. I saw on Facebook this week. You know how we mention going to your local bars, see the local bands outside on the patios at these bars. It's good times. There's not music on Tuesday nights, but Knuckleheads and Mayor Tuesday nights. I can't remember what they call it now, but that's nice if you're interested. All the boys and motorcycles are out there on Tuesday nights and Knuckleheads.
Yes. So at
So
the
if you want to see some
biker
nice,
ball,
it's kind of like a car show. You want to see some nice motorcycles. Tuesday nights, drive by Knuckleheads and Mayor, and you'll see them all there.
take a look, drive. Walk by and just take a look at all these finely tuned machines. Lots
Yes.
of nice things on display there, but
Yep.
always Tuesdays there.
Yeah. Tuesday's night out there. Yep.
All right, that's
That's
what
what
we
we
got
got,
for this
man.
week. We'll be back next week with another album review. But that's it. Have a good week.
See ya.
See ya.